Hello, it's me again. By popular request, and when I say popular, I mean one request. I'm not gonna read the other stuff, like the notes on the publishing and the blah 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 that I read yesterday, but I am gonna read the prologue of the Kingkiller Chronicle, Day 1, Name of the Wind, in my British accent. Maybe I'll read the book, this part too. It's like a handwritten letter by Quoth. So, my name is Quoth. I have stolen princesses back from sleeping barrow kings. I burned down the town of Trebon. I have spent the night with Valorian and left with both my sanity and my life. I was expelled from the university at a younger age than most people are allowed in. I tread paths by moonlight that others fear to speak of during day. I have talked to gods, loved women, and written songs that make the minstrels weep. You may have heard of me. Alright, cool. I just think that's so cool. I think he does say that in when he starts his story, he does actually say that. Like it's a quote from the book. Can't recall. Oh, I didn't realize, okay, so there's the prologue and then 4 chapters. And then the first mini book is called Scrail and the Scribe. Anyway, so it does begin with just the prologue though. 4 corners of civilization. Just a really cool map. I showed you this yesterday, but whatever. Back to looking homeless, whatever. We'll look cute in our next video, I promise. Okay. Prologue. A silence of 3 parts. It was night again. The Waystone Inn lay in silence, and it was a silence of 3 parts. The most obvious part was a hollow, echoing quiet, made by things that were lacking. If there had been a wind, it would have sighed through the trees, set the inn sign creaking on its hooks, and brushed the silence down the road like trailing autumn leaves. If there had been a crowd, even a handful of men inside the inn, they would have filled the silence with conversation and laughter, the clatter and clamor one expects from a drinking house during the dark hours of night. If there had been music. But no, of course there was no music. In fact, there were none of these things, and so the silence remained. Inside the Waystone, a pair of men huddled at one corner of the bar. They drank with quiet determination, avoiding serious discussions of troubling news. In doing this, they added a small, sullen silence to the larger, hollow one. It made an alloy of sorts, a counterpoint. The third silence was not an easy thing to notice. If you listened for an hour, you might begin to feel it in the wooden floor underfoot and in the rough, splintering barrels behind the bar. It was in the weight of the black stone hearth that held the heat of a long dead fire. It was in the slow back and forth of a white linen cloth rubbing along the grain of the bar. And it was in the hands of the man who stood there, polishing a stretch of mahogany that already gleamed in the lamplight. The man had true red hair, red as flame. His eyes were dark and distant, and he moved with the subtle certainty that comes from knowing many things. The Waystone was his, just as the third silence was his. This was appropriate, as it was the greatest silence of the 3, wrapping the others inside itself. It was deep and wide as autumn's ending. It was heavy as a great river-smooth stone. It was the patient, cut-flower sound of a man who was waiting to die. End scene. Anyway, that was the British version. I feel like the one I read to my friend Josh was way better. He was coaching me as I was doing it though, so he was able to get more out of me. But anyway, it's my amateur hour British reading of The Name of the Wind prologue. Let me know what you think, and wow, I do look especially homeless. Anyway, I'm gonna go to bed. Talk to you later.